my gang, unorthodox training. This is kind of like how I've trained my entire life, well, since I was 15, where I would kind of just go with the flow and just do what works for me and not what really is popularly, accommodated for. Really, how I train is just that I have this goal in mind. I want to achieve this certain thing, and this is like, it's either I'm doing this to achieve a goal or because it's fun. For the first exercise you saw me doing with the kettlebell, really, I was just practicing some forearm strength training, and that's not ideal. I'm using swing. I'm using body English to get the weight up there, and right here I'm doing one finger assisted handstand holds. These moves, they have their purpose, and people are just gonna be like, oh, why are you doing it like this? Why are you doing it like that? Why are you doing it, with the wall? It's not really the form. It's like, yeah, but for me, I get progress doing this. It's not the absolute best, but it works for me, and you can't really beat that. For, like the move like the V-sit or the I-sit, I never really tried. I never looked at a workout program to do it. I just looked at the movement, and then I tried it. After I tried it, I was like, this feels tight, and this hurts. So what does that mean? I should probably get comfortable in that position however way I can. And then I would do, V-sits on a wall. I never seen progressions like that on YouTube where people would just be like, all right, just put it on the wall and just force yourself to hold it. Lift one leg at a time. Put your face in your knees just so you can build that flexibility up. Stuff like that. It wasn't really super popular, but then again, I started when I was 15. I'm almost 24 now, so almost 10 years from now, or 10 years ago. And unorthodox training, how I've trained before is very not normal. That's why it's called unorthodox. But before, I would even do like weird stuff like arm wrestling training. This isn't even like old. This is like current. Like I met this guy, super strong guy, and we were training our arm wrestling skills just for fun. People would be like, why are you playing around in the gym? Shut up. I paid for the membership, and this is technically an exercise. This, actually, by the way, guys, if you want to train your arms, like, get a strong buddy and just arm wrestle each other. This was an insane skin-splitting pump from just arm wrestling. Like, every time I'm arm wrestling with, like, a strong guy, my entire arm is sore. Forearms, fingers, biceps, triceps, and even my shoulders get into it. So, how we would do it. Like, I'm trying to be my dad in arm wrestling low-key just because he's beaten me since I was 15 every single year. No matter what I do, bro drinks a beer while I'm using two hands, and he still beats me with ease. Mind you, I can do one-arm weighted muscle-ups and fingertip handstand push-ups, my guy, and I'm still cooked. This, what we're doing right here is that I kind of treated the arm wrestling kind of like my one-arm pull-up training, where I would train all three ranges of motion. So I would get the top half, the middle, and the bottom half. But back to the unorthodox training. The purpose of the unorthodox training is just that it's considered unorthodox just simply because on how not popular it is. Like back in the day when I would train my pull-up strength, I wouldn't do just weighted pull-ups. I would actually do weighted negative pull-ups. And that's not really a popular exercise. I don't know why. It gets me like brutal gains. So I would jump up on the bar and try to drop down slow as possible, or in fact pull myself up while gravity is pulling me down. And that helped me in my strength. So if you guys try that, go for that. I think I made a video about that called like unnatural or like not normal or unorthodox training methods. I think you'd look at that video up and just give it a try. It really is just trying to put your body in those positions and try to force it to work with you. So, this is a lot more arm wrestling, but there's some old clips I'm going to show in the future where me and my buddies back in the day, we would actually use weighted calisthenics, and then we would force each other to complete the rep. So it would be reducing the weight, but the weight would still be attached to you. People would be like, well, why are you ego lifting? If you need someone to lift the weight for you, then it's not. Shut up. You're small and weak. And if you're not, you're still wrong. I can do more cool stuff than you. Anyways, the purpose of that was kind of just like to break that mental barrier, that feeling of just like I have 4 plates, or I have, I have a lot of weight on me, but I'm still going to try to force my body to adapt and pull harder. Right here, I'm just hitting arms with my boy Tag. We were just having a great day. We were just arm wrestling. Like, yeah, I'm really bad with the camera work, but right here, this is the old clip. When we were doing our chin-ups or our weighted pull-ups, it's 100 pounds around my waist, and I would still be able to do it. So after that point of that absolute max where I know I can't do more, my homie would actually lift me up. But right now, this is another clip. I'm pretty short, all right, so I'm going to get out of the way. So I would crank out my reps and do 1, as a little dog in his hand. 2, and then I would try to go for 3. And if I couldn't, my man would help me out so that way I can push past that point. So I'd be like, this is too much. Then my boy Turk pulled up behind me. I'm gonna try to pull, and over the bar, just to still get that extra last few reps in. And we would do this with body weight as well. Let's say we had a goal of like 50 reps of pull-ups. We would do our max amount of pull-ups, and then our homie would push us until we could get that. That kind of like breaks that feeling. I don't know what it is. It's like a limit. You're literally limit breaking just because you're forcing your body to go past that certain point and to still, do that 50 that you want to do. Or like, this is a really old clip, but that's kind of like me ending the video out right now. But really it is just doing what you can with what you got and adjusting it to your level just so that it actually gets what works for you. And that's kind of really basic advice, but I don't know. I just feel like how I train is kind of unorthodox, where I would just do random movements that feels comfortable. The closest guy I would say to do it, if I can find a photo of him, he would do some retarded strength shit where he'd do like weighted one-arm cross presses or some crazy anime shit like that. And his training was pretty unorthodox. So I don't know, man. Yeah, I would take consideration before you do your regular pull-ups and push-ups. I would take it, maybe I want to do some reverse pinky grip, for fun. Obviously not the science-based shit. That's gay.